to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the good, the honorable, the eternally sitting down in a chair behind a computer, Dr. Yukon Suckit. That's right, Yukon Suckit. So today I'm broadcasting to you from my secret underground headquarters, located somewhere north of the South Pole, and I'm bringing to you a deck referred to as SELESNYA Enchantments. Now, I usually try to stay away from this deck. This is one of those decks. Everybody's got a deck that they hate because it's like, I don't know, too good or too stupid or whatever. This deck I don't particularly like to play with because it's too good. Too good. As soon as Kamigawa came out, this deck went to crazy town. Crazy town. And so anyways, I said, you know what? Let's just play it again. We got lots of people out there that would like to see it. Lots of people like to see it get played. And the one thing I like about this particular version that I found over on Untapped GG is that it did not have the Kami of Transience. It did not have Generous Visitor, which are, two staples of the whole SELESNYA enchantment realm there. So let's take a look at what's this one, and then we'll give it a play. At the low end, we've got Circle of Confinement, which exiles target creatures with a mana, the opponent control with a mana value of 3 or less until this card leaves play. So it's an enchantment that comes out. And then if they're playing a vampire spell with the same name of the exile, then I gain 2 life. So if you're playing against vampires, that's a great spell. I mean, it's okay as it is because it's limited to that 3 mana value or less. But whatever, it's a low end card. I think the big thing here is the fact that it's an enchantment that'll sit out there, which will help pump up some of your other cards later. Speaking of cards that'll help pump up, it'll pump up Michiko's Reign of Truth. And so it says target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn for each artifact or enchantment that you control. And then after that for 2 turns in a row. And then at which point then it pops out a portrait of Michiko, who gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment that you control. So yeah, this is a card that's very cheap, but you gotta wait until you have a bunch of enchantments in play, and even more so, at least one creature. So that way you can make advantage of those 2 turns of getting pumped by Michiko's Reigns of Truth's ability. So you gotta wait on this one. You can't just play it as soon as you have 2 mana. We got Spirited Companion, who is a dumb-looking dog. Way too much fun there, grabbing those little weird knot spirits or whatever. And when it comes into play, you get to draw a card. So it's okay. I mean, you get a 1/1, but the big thing is you get to draw a card, and it's an enchantment, so therefore it counts towards the enchantment stuff. It's an enchantment creature. That's just so weird. All right, we got Weaver of Harmony. It says other enchantment creatures like the Spirited Companion you control get +1/+1, so it's an enchantment creature lord, right? Which is going to help out your Spirited Companion and Jukai Naturalist. All right, and then even more so, you can tap this card and play 1 mana, copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. You may choose new targets. So I suspect that this guy comes into play. You could tap this guy to get 2 cards rather than just 1. We'll see what else we got going on here. Michiko's Reigns of Truth, you'd get double the ability possibly from that. We'll see how that plays. All right, then we got the Jukai Naturalist, which costs you 2, and he's a 2/2 with lifelink. And then enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, which applies towards enchantment creatures like these 2. So it'll make all your stuff so much cheaper to put out. We got Borrowed Time, which is a way better version of Circle of Confinement. Costs you 1 additional, but you can target any non-land permanent and opponent controls. So that is great. I mean, you can take out enchantments, you can take out planeswalkers, you can take out artifacts and creatures. A lot of availability there for it. We got the Restoration of Eiganjo, which is some white ramp, because on its first turn you go grab a plains and put it in your hand. And then on the next turn, you get to slam something that costs 2 or less into your graveyard. And then you get to take something, well, you can put anything from your hand into your graveyard, technically. and then you take something 2 or less from your graveyard and you put it back into play. So theoretically, if you got something that's 2 less in your hand, you can just filter it through your graveyard back into play. You're not even paying for it. Or you could take something that got out there and died and bring it back. Like any of these things. Anything in this column here that might be in your graveyard, this thing will bring back and put right back into play, which is fantastic. Fantastic. This deck is just asking for it. And then the last thing you get out of it is a 3/4 enchantment creature, and then whenever it attacks or blocks, you create a 1/1 colorless spirit token. So you got another enchantment creature, which will be totally helped out by the Weaver of Harmony. We got the wedding announcement, which just keeps pumping out 1/1 white human tokens, or draws a card if you happen to have 2 or more creatures that you're attacking with on any given turn. And then eventually it transforms into a glorious anthem that gives all your dudes +1/+1. They're humans, so they're not going to get anything from this guy. So therefore, that's pretty much the end of it. Now, this is your big bad right here, Katilda the Dawnhart, Martyr. And the reason why is because it's a spirit warlock who comes out, has flying, lifelink, and protection from vampires. And you're not really seeing vampires as much anymore, but yeah, if you do, yay, right? And this spirit's power and toughness is equal to the number of permanents you control that are either spirits or enchantments. And you are, other than like wedding announcement, right? I mean, luckily it's an enchantment, but it's not putting out spirits, it's putting out humans. But everything else is putting out spirits. Restoration of Eiganjo puts out spirits. We got, well, I guess that's it. That's a spirited companion, but it's an enchantment. But anyways, there's tons. This thing is just going to be flying, lifelink, and just let's hopefully and not be wiped out, but just be flooded with all of that power. And the best part, if it does get killed, then it becomes an enchantment that you can put onto any other creature that you got, which gets the exact same ability. And so therefore, it is really hard to keep this thing down, right? I was gonna say kill it and keep it down, because you just play it again. And is it just transform into it? No, you have to pay the disturb cost, which is 5. All right, so we have Hallowed Haunting, and this card was the bee's knees, like, I don't know, a month and a half ago. It just seemed like forever ago. But yeah, just look at this card. I mean, it was the card. We were all trying to find out how, which was, I think I tried like 3 or 4 decks to stream which was the best way of playing Hallowed Haunting. And what it is, it's an enchantment that comes in, and as long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance. And then whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you create a spirit clear it token with this creature's power and toughness is equal to the number of spirits you control. So between this and that, the guy that comes out of the Restoration of Eiganjo, you're putting out spirits. You got Katilda, who's a spirit, and any of them could be ramped up with the enchantment version of Katilda as well. If you had 7 or more enchantments, which you'll probably have, they'll all have flying and vigilance. It's just so much to have to put up with here if you're fighting against it, right? And it costs you 4. I mean, look at this. I mean, you got this really powerful deck, and every card is 3 or less except for one of them, which is 4. 4 is the top of your deck, man. So anyways, this is an incredibly cheap deck. Incredibly. Let's see how many lands we're actually talking about here. 24. We have 24 lands in it, which is pretty decent regardless. What do we got here? We got 1-man land. We've got another man land. So you got a total of 2-man lands altogether. You got the Kamigawa land that does the disenchant. You got the Kamigawa land that does 4 damage to target blocking or attacking creatures. And then you got some duels. You got some fasts, or I should say regular, basic, good old-fashioned regular lands in there too. So this is it. This is the deck, and it doesn't have Kami of Transience in it, who is fantastic, by the way. But, man, sometimes a deck is too much. So I'm hoping this deck, I'm sure it's going to go good. I mean, I play against it all the time. It's capable of being taken down. It's like a lot of creature removal will take this deck down. But anybody that's not playing that is going to have a hard time dealing with it. So let's give it a shot, and let's see how it does. All right, we're playing against Reliance. And we got 3 mana, and we're doing okay. I mean, like 90% of this deck is under 3. is 3 or less. So we got what it takes here. Let's pop out this particular green. Looks like we're playing against life gain. Save our borrowed time for like a Voice of the Blessed. All right, yeah, I was just thinking, should I draw a card or should I just prepare for things? And what do we got here? Attack. Return a creature bound from your graveyard to your hand whenever you attack. Okay, this guy's planning on going for it. I could use this. I just need 2. I got the 2. I just don't have a whole lot of mana. And if I want to be able to play the 3, I gotta do what I gotta do. I could always just sit on it for a second here. Alright, let's just do something cool. Let's, I'm going to do it. We'll play this out. We're going to go ahead and put out Spirited Companion. I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards is what I'm going to do. One, 2. All right, we got our 4th mana. I mean, we can play pretty much everything we ever need to play. No blocks. All right, let's see here. So we can start up with, should I wait? I should be more like a control player. Is that the deal? That's what my inner Orzhov is telling me at the moment. Just choke it back, take the damage, wait on those Michikos. Circle of Confinement tells me that we need to stop the life gain, and we shall do that. And I got 3 left. That sounds like what a wedding announcement would like to say. I know 2 wedding announcements are usually a bad deal if you're playing against them, and they're great. So I think we might get that out. At which point then the Michikos start to look really good. And for my Voice of the Blessed, it's only 2 white, which means Circle of Confinement will be able to take that thing out as well. I mean, the problem for him is I got a great hand. The only problem is that does he have a greater hand? And the way that he's taking his time, either he's got too many great things in his hand, he doesn't know what to do, or he's choking on fumes. That guy ain't good for us. She's got a shield and she's 6. Alright, here he is, another wedding announcement. What do I got here power-wise? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if I go against that, I'll be a lot more than that. Let's just duke it out. Let's do it. There's a 7. We'll get the shield out of the way. But let's just take it. Okay. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, we'll do it this way. I really like a Katilda right now. That would be space awesome. So yeah, on the next turn, I can definitely play. I can play 2 Michikos if I really wanted to, but I don't really have anything with a lot of evasion, so it's not really going to help out too much. That Circle of Confinement's looking really good, but it's not going to be able to do anything against the Sanctuary Warden. Reliance is thinking way too hard. You're playing white, dude. You don't need to. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that was probably the worst for us right there. What do we got here? 3. So I can, and this is only for target creature. So it means all I can take out is the Traveling Minister at this point. Technically, I could play all 3 of them if I get 1 more mana. And that's not the mana we're looking for. If I put it out, then I'll have nothing going on, and that Warden is really in our way. 4, it'll take it out. 3. I could do this. I could double up on it. I can go to town. The Traveling Minister is going to be our way. Let's do this. We'll take out the Traveling Minister. No, I don't care. There we go. Everything's fine. We're going to do this. And you'll travel. What can I do? Take this. And we'll copy that. Go back to him. Alright, I'll attack. Okay, now the deal is we're sitting really good because I can pull that trick again and put out another Michiko on the next turn. And I just gotta make sure that he doesn't sit there like a dummy. If he does, I'll still kill him. Or I'll kill his Sanctuary Warden, let's put it that way. Alright, a lot less power than I thought I was going to have, but we'll do what we can. Let's see, what do I got now? I got 4, 5, 6. I can play both. That farewell was really horrible for us. You're down to 2 mana. Alright, so he's got lethal on us, so we can't end him this turn. Alright, let's see. I'm just going to go for what I know to be true. All enchantments are created equal. And see, what I should have done is actually played this out and used the green to double up on Michiko's ability. That's what I should have done. Do I have enough to do 10 this turn? I don't know. Let's find out. Nope, I got 9. I got 9. Yeah, so I killed myself by not seeing the power of Eiganjo. Alright, got him down to 1. Good game. It's yours, buddy. Just attack. You're good to go. Alright, we're done. Boing! Defeat! All right, playing against Greg the Greg. He's the Gregiest Greg of them all. We have 2 mana, and everything in here costs 2 except for wedding announcements. Let's keep it. Frost Dragon. Come on, man. Drag it out. Alright, there is a green, which allows us to put out the Weaver of Harmony. I'm not surprised this guy is not quite legendary. There's creature removal. Land 3, we're putting out another Weaver of Harmony. And there's more creature removal. And here's number 4. It's better white this time. Alright, so if I play this, it'll cost me anything be down by 2, which means I can play for a wedding announcement. And get ready for more creature removal. Alright, so we have 2. I start going after my hand here. I'll decline. Do what you want, man. Decline. Don't care. Alright, so we got to make it through the Shambling Gasp. That's not going to work out terribly well for us. Let's go ahead. I got 3 and 1. Who are we going to go for? We'll go for the Jukai Naturalist. Attack. It doesn't really matter who I attack at this point. Let's go for the 4. There we go. He'll take out one of my dudes, probably. Unless he's desperate for mana. Alright, Eiganjo. There's a dragon. Decline. Decline. Alright, looks like you're practically tapped out here. Other than the first, huh? Well, that sucks for me. We're gonna pop that guy up by 1. Eiganjo gets me another land. Wedding announcement. What are we gonna do here? I like wedding announcement. Do I really want to take another hit? Yep, let's go for it. Alright, pop out that land. Yikes. Alright, what do I got? 6 and 9 is 15. Let's just go for his throat. Oh, those guys are sitting back like idiots. Dang it! Alright, I got nothing to fly, but I got 13 life because of the Jukai Naturalist. Got 2 spiders to make it through. Decline. Decline. Alright, can I make it past with 9 at this point? I don't have a guy. And we win! I'm not sure we really had that victory, but he certainly was. Alright, we're playing against Hufa. I don't think it's Hufa, but we'll go for Hufa. We got 3 mana, which should be plenty. Let's keep it. All right, this is black player cards incarnate right there. I was playing with that for a while. We'll start off with the dual land. Because I got nothing better to do with it. Ooh, I wonder if I can make borrowed. Yeah, I can get 2 people. I need 4 mana for that though. Or not even 2 people, just 2 things. And I got 4 mana though. Boys, there's the 2 I want to get. Alright, I'm putting out another Weaver of Harmony. We'll attack in. Let it go, because they love their Voice of the Blessed. What are you going to do, life gain, with your black deck card sleeves? There we go. Okay, let's play our trick, and here we go. We're going to pop this guy out. We will grab Voice of the Blessed. We will double up on him. Let's take out that card. And go in for the attack. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! Suck it, suck it, suck it! Alright, so here is Selesnya Enchantments. And, okay, it was super fun to play. It was really, really good. And technically, I could have won all 3 games we just played if I had done my math correctly in that first game. It was totally there. I had the ability to take the last game. By a lot, but I missed it. It was a misplay on my part. But yeah, this deck could have swept it right there. So, and I'm not exactly sure how we won the first game. He must have just had crap in his hand and known that seen the writing on the wall. But from my perspective, where I couldn't see what was going on in his hand, yeah, I thought he was doing fairly well. Sure, our deck was very strong and had a lot going on for it still. We had a lot of potential, and I guess that's where we're at. The third hand, I forget what even happened. I mean, just a second ago for me, but we were just dominating. I know, we were just, because I still had the ability to double grab 2 of his cards again on the next turn, no matter what he played. Permanents were not going to be in my way. It was just a horrible situation for him. Plus, if I got another one of the Weaver of Harmonies out, those guys are going to be 4/4s. There was like 3 4/4s swinging around while he had nothing to show for it. So, yeah, this deck is way too cheap for the power that it is wielding. I mean, I'm going to call this one an A+ deck just because this is the kind of thing that I measure all other decks against. It is competitive, it is fun, and it is really easy to play. So there you go. But let me say it this way. Don't just play this deck. It would get so boring for everybody else to have to go up against it constantly, because I know I play against it constantly, and it's just so boring. And sometimes I play nothing but just super creature kill, just so that I can kill all the creatures in this deck constantly. It's just what you got to do, because it's just in the way all the time. I'm happy this deck doesn't have Kami of Transience and Generous Visitor, because they are just so egregious. Just sucking up the love from every enchantment you put down, and then you don't even touch them. The Generous Visitor just can keep those +1 counters for themselves, or can pass them out to anybody else. And then if you put them together with Weaver of Harmony, and you double up that particular effect, it's just going all over the place. But I thought that the balance here was very nice. I really liked Weaver of Harmony. I wish we'd gotten to Katilda, but there's only 2 in the deck, so that probably explains why we never saw it. I mean, it's all great. I'm glad that I was able to choke back on the Michiko until I had creatures and until I had stuff in place. Getting wiped out with Farewell, where they left all the creatures but took away all the enchantments, that was so devastating. So devastating. But this deck was able to recover, which is a testament to it. All right, so there is Selesnya Enchantments, and I hope you have as good a time with it as I did. In the words of the Daily Dose of Internet, that's the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Later.